We shall never know peace. At least when it comes to the WNBA space. It was this ad that Angel put out. And I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places, but because of where the WNBA All-Star game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA All-Star game, it's going to raise some eyebrows.
Angel Reese tried to hijack the moment, but forgot that moments don't come to you. They belong to those who create them. She marched into the spotlight like it owed her something, fully expecting the world to cheer. But the stage was cold, the lights had faded, and the audience had already left the building. Reese thought she could pull off Caitlin Clark's magic trick, not through talent, not through genuine impact, but simply by standing nearby and soaking in the shine. As if clout was contagious and legacy could be borrowed. It wasn't mimicry. It was misguided mimicry. So tell us, baby goat or baby giraffe? If you're riding with CC, let it be known, she doesn't follow the spotlight. She is the spotlight.
Angel, me bound, prayer, Reese. You're only relevant because you keep bringing up my precious CC. You want to pull up with your Billboard Reebok ad in Indiana talking about you in her trap. Man, stop it. You out of there. You hear me? My precious CC don't be in no trap. Real talk. You hear me? At the end of the day, she don't do those type of things. Yes. You hear me? Don't put that with her name at the end of the day. If you be in a trap, that's your business. You hear me? Whatever the case may be, that ain't nothing to be proud of.
Angel Reese has made a habit of invoking Caitlin Clark's name every time the attention starts to slip, as if CC is her marketing strategy. But let's be clear, Caitlin isn't in your trap, Reese. She's not lurking in alleyways or slinging slogans in someone else's city. Clark built her name through skill, consistency, and actual star power, not by clout chasing. If you want to live in the trap, fine, that's your lane. But don't drag CC into it. Her name doesn't belong in your PR stunts or your gritty posturing. Keep her out of your gimmicks.
Here, everyone with credit card debt is lining up to get the Angel Reese signature shoe. Here, it gives you the power of the rebound. Bang! Again! Burn! Will she save it? No! What everyone's paid to see, the Angel Reese rebound. Bang! Kelsey Plum makes the shot, she'll get more money. Bang! We show up and show out for our rebounding queen. Yes! Bang. I love rebounds. Yes!
Hey, Jimmy, did you see that last rebound? It was so sick.
Yes, she did it again. Rebound.
The 2025 WNBA All-Star Weekend was supposed to be Angel Reese's grand breakout, the moment she finally stepped out of Caitlin Clark's massive shadow. On paper, it all lined up. Her Reebok sneaker debut, a flashy marketing push, and a full-court press in Clark's own city of Indianapolis. It had all the makings of a brand takeover, but reality had other plans. You can't manufacture charisma, and you can't build your identity on someone else's shine. And once Clark exited the scene, so did the energy.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's very clear that one side is absolutely trying to milk whatever rivalry there is. Whatever rivalry there is, it is one side trying to do everything they can to keep it together, because that is where they're going to be at their most relevant.
The entire launch strategy seemed tethered to one idea: ride Caitlin Clark's wave. Reebok knew the biggest eyeballs would be on whatever game involved Clark, so they saved the sneaker debut for All-Star Weekend. Why? Because Clark wasn't playing when Reese was in Chicago, and she wasn't suiting up for this game either. The brand was hoping Clark's presence alone, her aura, her audience would carry the launch. No Clark, no juice.
But there is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even, insinuating some sort of attachment to Caitlin Clark. Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment, and that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from an attention standpoint.
Reese's plan was built on a faulty assumption that Caitlin Clark's stardom would do the heavy lifting. Instead of commanding the spotlight herself, she banked on the idea that simply being on the court near Clark would drive fans, sales, and headlines. It wasn't about winning hearts. It was about standing close enough to someone who already had them and hoping some of it rubbed off.
So the WNBA's All-Star game went down 36%. That is a lot. That's more than a third from last year. Last year was over 3.4 million people, and it went down to 2.1. Now, you could say is a success. Yeah, for women's sport, that is still a lot of people. But at the same time, it really isn't a success, because think about it. It's the only sport playing. It's the only game that's going. And you only could draw that. So, and this is with all the stars, remember, guys.
But destiny had a different script. Just before the All-Star break, Caitlin Clark suffered a groin injury and was benched for the big event. Without her, the league lost its biggest draw. Clark is the kind of player who can turn a meaningless Tuesday matchup into prime-time television. With her sidelined, the WNBA lost its heartbeat, and the All-Star weekend lost its anchor.
But the WNBA All-Star game ratings have come out, and all I could think of right off the bat was 4 little letters. F-A-F-O. F around and find out. You bleep around and find out what this league looks like without Caitlin Clark being involved in your biggest events. Kathy Engelbert, this should be a perfect example of why you need to get your officiating cleaned up, and you need to have a talk with your players in the league.
And the numbers, absolutely brutal. When Clark played in the 2024 All-Star Game, the broadcast drew a staggering 3.44 million viewers. It wasn't just a sporting event, it was a cultural touchstone. But fast forward to 2025 with Clark on the sidelines, and viewership plummeted to 2.19 million. That's a jaw-dropping 36% drop, and it happened in her own backyard. What was meant to be a celebration of women's basketball became a sobering reminder of just how much Clark carries the league.
Angel Reese All-Star Weekend Edition! How about it? Let's get it! Hey, you know what they say? 4 is more. Bang! Her loyal fans showed out in Indy, all 4 of them, and somebody's drunk uncle. Take a look at what unemployment looks like. Bang! What do you mean you didn't watch the All-Star game? You're telling me you have a social life? What? What's butter pecan mean? It's provocative. It gets the people going. Butter pecan! Bang!
The WNBA's All-Star ratings didn't just dip, they cratered. A 36% viewership loss is no small slump, it's a freefall. And while 2.1 million viewers might sound solid for a women's sport, it's underwhelming when you realize this was the only game in town. No NBA, no NFL, nothing competing. All eyes should have been on this event, and they still weren't. Even with every big-name star in attendance, Clark's absence turned the main event into background noise.
You can barely dribble. You miss layups on purpose, and they record them as rebounds. You be stat padding. You don't elevate your players. You went to a stacked LSU team. You hear me? My precious CC owns you. You want to know the record? She is 5-2 against you. You beat her in college one time. That championship. But what happened to the year after that? She sent you home. You hear me? And waved to your coach. You hear me? At the end of the day.
Reese watched her campaign collapse in real time. The hype machine sputtered. Sales didn't pop. The buzz died. Even ticket scalpers couldn't flip seats for profit. Why? Because fans weren't showing up for a half-baked brand rollout. They wanted Clark. Without her, there was no spark, no electricity. Just another marketing stunt without the substance to back it up.
WNBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing.
Nothing symbolized the failure of the weekend more than Reese's awkward "I'm in your city" campaign. It was marketed like a territorial conquest, as if she was invading enemy turf. Billboards plastered all over Indianapolis screamed her name, but Clark wasn't even playing. There was no showdown, no rivalry, no resistance. Just one player trying to stake claim to a kingdom whose queen wasn't even in the building. It came off less like confidence and more like cosplay.
Fans sent a blatant message, a shot across thou bow. All right, and your ship, well, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA and all their pay us what you owe us action, that action will sink. That action will sink. Woo! WNBA All-Star Game sees ratings drop without Caitlin Clark, and it's ugly. It's real ugly. Who is it?
Reese rolled into Indy like she had an army behind her, but all she brought were some Instagram captions, a Reebok ad, and maybe 4 die-hard fans and a confused uncle in the stands. The All-Star Game wasn't about her, and no one pretended otherwise. What do you mean you didn't watch? She might ask. Simple. People had better things to do. It wasn't provocative. It wasn't iconic. It was cringy and try-hard. Butter pecan slogans and all.
There's no comparison between y'all two. You hear me? And she has a $28 million Nike deal. Nike is better than Reebok last time I checked. And Angel, me bound pray up Reese. Last time I checked, you said Indianapolis was racist and they was dangerous. Why did you show up? Because you could have just watched from the crib. You hear me? So let me tell you this. Please stop associating my precious Cece with the trap. She don't know what a trap is. At the end of the day, she might know what a rat trap or mouse trap is, okay? But anything else other than that, please do not. No, we not gonna do.
The campaign blanketed the city. Billboards, flashy edits, Instagram reels. Everywhere you looked, there was Angel Reese declaring dominance with captions like, "Walk in your trap, take over your trap." But the trap was empty. No one was guarding it. No one was defending it. And most importantly, no one seemed to care that she took it. It was a manufactured moment with no real stakes and no real win.
So one of his genius decisions was this. Signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of like fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely missing the mark and like scampering back to get the ball and then shooting again real fast and it just doesn't come anywhere near the hoop. That is, if you haven't seen her play, that's what it is. Put that image here, that is her.
And fans weren't fooled for a second. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, everyone saw through the smoke. One post read, "She can't sell a shoe without riding Caitlin Clark's coattails." Another joked, "More photographers than fans at that launch." The public wasn't impressed. It felt like someone holding a trophy in a race where the other runner never even showed up. there's no honor in shadowboxing.
Man, look, I don't know what the Reese was thinking. She wanted her shoe that just came out a couple months ago. The cost $1,000. Now look, I'm all for athletes getting a shoe deal, having their design, specified, perfect shoe that significant to them and to other fans. But $1,000 for a shoe, love, I love you. I really do. But you definitely been on some shit. Like lately. I'm not going to lie to you. You have. But $1,000.
Let's break it all the way down. Angel Reese had everything going for her. Prime location, full-blown corporate backing, a fresh sneaker deal, her face on every billboard in the city, and a weekend engineered to crown her as the next big thing. But when the dust settled, silence, no buzz, no genuine excitement, because all the flash in the world can't hide the fact that the fire just wasn't there.
She is so bad that when Caitlin Clark and her were supposed to face off against each other the other week, the ticket sales went down from $100 to like $5 because Caitlin Clark got injured. She had a quad injury, so she wasn't playing. So guess what? No one wanted to go watch. And if you don't know Caitlin Clark, she's pretty much the GOAT of the WNBA and is the reason why people are watching. No one watches you, Angel Reese. No one watches you. The only thing that I enjoy watching is all the clips on TikTok of you just countlessly just missing every shot that you take.
Angel Reese may have strutted into All-Star Weekend with flashy shoes and bold slogans, but the silence that followed sent a message louder than any billboard ever could. The WNBA thought it could ride the wave without Caitlin Clark. They figured the machine would keep churning, the fans would keep watching, and the momentum would stay hot. But the numbers told a different story, a brutal, undeniable truth. No Clark, no spark. The ratings tanked. The energy disappeared. And just like that, the league was left drifting without its engine. That "pay us what you owe us" campaign? It lost its teeth when the only player truly driving value was benched. Caitlin Clark isn't just a part of the WNBA machine. She's the reason it runs at all. What Reese and the league didn't realize is that you can't fake gravity. You can't manufacture mass appeal. And you definitely can't replace the one person everyone tuned in to see with slick marketing and borrowed swagger. The WNBA didn't just take a hit, it took a gut punch, and fans noticed. The All-Star Game ratings dropped like an anchor in deep water, proving once and for all that without Caitlin Clark, the league isn't just missing a player, it's missing the player. So, to whoever thought this weekend could be a success without her, congratulations! You just learned the hard way what happens when you try to sail without your flagship. The ship sinks, and it sank hard.